I hope I shall not be charged with insolence in delivering the sentiments of an honest mind with freedom. I am speaking of the rights of a people. Rights imply equality in the instances to which they belong, and must be treated without respect to the dignity of the persons concerned in them. If the British Empire in Europe and in America is the same power, if the subjects in both are the same people, and all equally participate in the adversity and prosperity of the whole, what distinctions can the difference of their situations make, and why is this distinction made between them? Why is the trade of the colonies more circumscribed than the trade of Britain? And why are impositions laid upon the one which are not laid upon the other? If the Parliament have a right to impose taxes of every kind upon the colonies, they ought in justice, as the same people, to have the same sources to raise them from. Their commerce ought to be equally free with the commerce of Britain. Otherwise, it will be loading them with burdens at the same time that they are deprived of strength to sustain them. It will be forcing them to make bricks without straw. I acknowledge the Parliament is the sovereign legislative power of the British nation, and that by a full exertion of their power they can deprive the colonists of the freedom and other benefits of the British Constitution, which have been secured to them by our kings. They can abrogate all their civil rights and liberties. But by what right is it that the Parliament can exercise such a power over the colonists, who have as natural a right to the liberties and privileges of Englishmen as if they were actually resident within the kingdom? The colonies are subordinate to the authority of Parliament. Subordinate, I mean, in degree, but not absolutely so. For if by a vote of the British Senate the colonists were to be delivered up to the rule of a French or Turkish tyranny, they may refuse obedience to such a vote, and may oppose the execution of it by force. Great is the power of Parliament, but great as it is, it cannot, constitutionally, deprive the people of their natural rights, nor in virtue of the same principle can it deprive them of their civil rights, which are founded in compact, without their own consent. There is, I confess, a considerable difference between these two cases as to the right of resistance. In the first, if the colonists should be dismembered from the nation by act of Parliament and abandoned to another power, they have a natural right to defend their liberties by open force, and may lawfully resist. And if they are able, repel the power to whose authority they are abandoned. But in the other, if they are deprived of their civil rights, if great and manifest oppressions are imposed upon them by the state on which they are dependent, their remedy is to lay their complaints at the foot of the throne, and to suffer patiently rather than disturb the public peace, which nothing but a denial of justice can excuse them in breaking. But if this justice should be denied, if the most humble and dutiful representations should be rejected, nay, not even deign to be received, what is to be done? To such a question Thucydides would make the Corinthians reply that if a decent and condescending behavior is shown on the part of the colonies, it would be base in the mother state to press too far on such moderation. And he would make the Corcyraeans answer that every colony, whilst used in a proper manner, ought to pay honor and regard to its mother state. But when treated with injury and violence, it is become an alien. They were not sent out to be the slaves, but to be the equals of those that remain behind.